What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Bartender Hideout. As you can see on the title, today we are going to be showing you 3 easy and great mezcal cocktails that you can make at home once you get or you grab a hold of one of these awesome bottles of spirits. I don't want to get into it too long if I don't have to, but these are just some easy cocktails that you can make that don't break the bank and that you can make if lockdowns are over by the time that you see this, but if you're sitting at home having some drinks with friends, then these ones are definitely your go-to. But yeah, let's have a look at what our first cocktail is gonna be. Okay, so here we are for cocktail number 1, easy mezcal cocktail number 1, I should say. We are gonna start with the Paloma today. If you've been keeping track of the cocktail countdown, we've done the Paloma only a couple weeks ago. So for all of you that are following that, make sure to check that one out as well. And you should probably remember this recipe anyway. But luckily for everyone that hasn't watched it, I need to explain it anyway. So don't worry if you didn't pay attention. I'm gonna make it for you anyway. Okay, so first I will be rimming our glass with salt and chili powder mixture. So it's basically chili powder and salt mixed in together. I'll make sure, there we go, it's probably, there you can see it. And we can just make sure to rub some lime by the glass, and then we use the glass and go through the mixture so we get a nice salt and chili rim on it. And that really helps with flavors once we obviously start tasting the drink. That just gives it that little bit of extra oomph that we might need. But then obviously let's get cracking with the rest of the drink. So we'll start off with our mezcal. This is a Mezcal San Cosme that we managed to find in one of the local liquor stores here. If you've seen last week's video, then you know how that story went. And we'll add 60 milliliters or 2 ounces of our mezcal to our shaker. Then I have some freshly squeezed grapefruit juice as well. This is also 60 milliliters or 2 ounces. So I'm just gonna add all of that to our shaker. There you go. Obviously you want it as freshly squeezed as possible. That always helps with flavors in the cocktail. Then I have some freshly squeezed lime juice that we're just gonna add half an ounce of. Just to give it a little bit of extra kick that we want. And then I also have our homemade honey syrup. That is basically just syrup or honey with water, and then with boiling water dissolved a little bit, so we actually can pour it a little bit easier and not have it be so thick. So from that I'll add 10 milliliters or a quarter of an ounce, just to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Then our final ingredient I'm gonna wait with, because if I add that to our shaker and I'm gonna start shaking, then it's gonna be all through the bar. So at first we're gonna be shaking this. Add some ice to our shaker and give it a good whirl. Make sure that everything is nicely mixed and also already a little bit cooled down. And add some ice to our glass. Then with the strainer, add it into our glass, and finally we're gonna top it up with some soda water. As you can see, it's not that much anymore, and actually I managed to find a soda water that has a little hint of grapefruit in it as well, but obviously normal soda water should do the trick just fine. I'm just gonna garnish this with a wedge of grapefruits, and that's it. That is cocktail number 1 done, the Paloma. Let's have a look at what we're going to be making after this one. Okay, so cocktail number 2 that we're going to be making is actually one that we made as well last week. But for whoever who didn't see that video, we're going to make it again. And I feel like within these 3 easy mezcal cocktails, I think this one really can't be missing. So that's where I'm going to be making the Mezcal Old Fashioned yet again. Yeah, so let's dive into that one. So this one is going to be 60 milliliters of mezcal, or 2 ounces. So we'll add that to our mixing glass. Then I have my agave syrup, which is obviously the replacement for the sugarcane cubes that we normally use in an old fashioned. So this works perfectly fine as a replacement for that. So we'll add 10 milliliters or a quarter of an ounce of that to our mixing glass. And also, actually let's do one thing different. I'm only gonna use 1 dash, just because I can. And I think it shouldn't affect it too much. I'm obviously still always like experimenting a little bit, perfecting all my recipes. So let's see how this one goes. Stirring again. Have a little taste in between. And yeah, that's a lot better already. So I think we're ready to add some ice to our glass. Okay, ice is in the glass, and then we can transfer our Mezcal Old Fashioned to the glass as well. And with a little bit of extra ice again. And then as a garnish, as you might have seen last week as well, I'll add a dehydrated lime. You can do whatever you want. That's the main thing. Yeah, and that is cocktail number 2. As you can see, nice and easy. And then I think it's time to show you what we're going to be doing with cocktail number 3. Okay, so for cocktail number 3, we're actually pulling back a little bit the curtains on 3 easy vodka cocktails, where I think this one was in as well. We are going to be making Mezcal Mule, so a variation on Mezcal Mule. That I'm sure is still coming up in the cocktail countdown as well. If that video isn't live already, then it's probably popping up somewhere already if it is. But for now, let's get on with this one. As I said, super easy, all of these cocktails. So we just want to add our mezcal, and again, this is going to be 2 ounces or 60 milliliters that can go just straight into the glass. Then I'm going to be adding 15 milliliters of lime juice. There we go. Also straight in the glass. And finally, I just like the little kick that agave gives to this cocktail. So we're gonna. I mean, if you don't have agave, I guess you can also use honey. Like a honey syrup, but I think if you have agave and you're making cocktails with mezcal, I think agave just tends to do a little better, since it obviously is made from the same stuff, but it's different in its own way. Okay, then we can add our ice. And then finally, as with a normal Mezcal Mule, we're going to be adding some ginger beer. I have a Fentimans ginger beer here. Obviously, you have all kinds of ginger beer. I think we came across 3 or 4 different kinds of ginger beer. So, I mean, you can grab whatever you fancy or whatever is available to you. Obviously, not everything that's available here would be available in America or in other parts of the world. So just grab whatever you can or whatever you have, and then just add it to our cocktail. See if I have some straws. I do have a straw here, so I can use pretty much all of that. Still a little bit left in it, but obviously also depends on the vessel, how big your glass is there. And then stir it a little bit, and as a garnish, what should we do? I'd say we'll just go back to our dehydrated lime. I mean, in this bar I don't really have that many options, so I kind of wing it as we go sometimes, guys. But yeah, I'd say that is all done with this one. So there you have it, guys. That is 3 amazing cocktails that you can really easily make at home when you're just sitting there with friends having a drink, or if you just need something quick to when you're on a Friday night and you just wanna chill out. These ones do perfectly fine, especially with the summer coming up. Mezcal is an awesome flavor for summer for sure. So yeah, make sure to grab one of these if you can. Also, make sure to check out the cocktail countdown videos for these cocktails if you want to learn more about them. If you want to learn a bit of the history about them, I've got a person that is very good at explaining that bit for you guys. Yeah, and I think I'm gonna leave it at that with you guys for this week. Make sure to tune in next week as well. Also, make sure to like and subscribe this video and the channel, and leave a comment to tell us what you think of our cocktails and if you will be making any of these at home during the summer season here. And for now, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.